Gotcha. Okay. And we're back. Sorry about the interruption. I think King J ended the stream on accident trying to exit out. Let me go ahead and get that music cue back up. And we'll pick up right where we left off. Oh, that's the link. That's not what I was trying to copy. Next question. Okay. When forming beliefs, do you prioritize evidence, intuition, tradition, or lived experience?
You said when forming beliefs, do you prioritize evidence, intuition, tradition, or lived experiences? Of course, when forming beliefs, well, of course, my belief is the Bible, of course, and number one is the evidence with the, to support the Bible as well as, intuition, so I guess I would say more of like a spiritual thing. And traditions, I guess we can use that as history. So I'll look at history, and then lived experiences. I can definitely look at, I guess, how I live versus how, the Bible, how I live versus, how other people live and how it correlates with the Bible. So yeah, I would prioritize the first evidence. Like I said, I need facts to support anything. Can you hear me?
Sorry, I'm muted. Yeah, I was saying I think evidence would be my first choice too. Then probably tradition, because I would think like the elders would know something about it. And then I would put my intuition on top of all of that.
Yes, I definitely. First evidence, then of course I like the tradition, and then intuition is pretty much how you feel, and then your lived experiences.
And sorry about that. Anybody just tapping back in? I believe King J ended the stream on accident, so we had to start a part two. Peace, Roy Chess. You made it back over here. Yes, we are back. Started up to finish this interview. We only have a few more questions left, but I definitely wanted to get to some of these. And how often do you go live on your channel?
Not enough. I need to go live more.
Not on
but I have been making more videos. I have been making more content. I'm starting to get back out. I had felt ill a little bit, so I'm starting to get back out there, trying to get back out to teaching and going live.
I know how it is. It's hard having a work-life balance, taking care of the family, and still finding time to serve the community,
yes.
At the end of a long day. So salute to you for sure.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Next question. How do you wait? You know what? I don't like that question. I'm still going to ask it. Maybe we can trash it if you don't want to answer it. How do your beliefs influence your views on society, justice, or human purpose? Actually, I read that wrong. I do like this question.
Oh yeah, this is a good question. I believe people's beliefs are very important. Like I said, the Most High gave us His laws, statutes, and commandments. So pretty much, when you follow His laws. So my beliefs, like I said, do unto others as you want done unto yourselves. Do not kill, do not steal, all those things that, we, has been instilled in the way this country is ran pretty much, is very important. And I believe that, depending on what you believe in, like with Islam or these other, beliefs, has laws that can definitely have a negative impact on a lot of people's lives, for slavery, things like that. So I believe beliefs are very important, and my belief is in the Bible. So it's pretty, like I said, the Bible is very fair. Are you muted again or?
I did it again. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Next question. What do you hope people understand about you by the end of this interview?
Well, the thing about me is that I want people to really understand is that I am actually what I call a truth seeker. One thing I like to say is that I'm a truth seeker, I'm an independent thinker, and an independent researcher. So even though I do believe in the Bible does not belong to and is not owned by Christianity. Okay. So the thing is that I believe in the Bible, and I'm also, like I said, I'm independent of all these other so-called religions or theologies. And so I believe in the truth first. And like I said, I like to utilize all information to see what all comes together. And what I've noticed is looking at science, looking at the Bible as well as history, all of it proves the Bible as true each time. And that there is a group out there that is trying to keep that information away from us, to keep us from becoming one with the Most High, the Creator, to keep us in chains. So from waking up, keeping you asleep, because they know the truth and they have control, and that's why they teach you. They teach you that there is no God, or now they teach you that that there's something wrong with the Bible. It's like it's an unfair and unjust God, when it's actually everything is man. Man is the one that's the problem. It's not God.
I like that one.
Yes, it's man. Yeah, man is the problem, not God.
Okay, next question. I want to post this one in the chat too, so that way you can see it in case. Because it's kind of a deep one. Okay, here we go. What does being Hebrew mean to you beyond ethnicity or culture, ideologically and spiritually?
What do you mean by ideology? Ideologically?
Ideologically, like where your ideals come from. That's your ideology, pretty much. The Hebrew culture, the doctrine, the laws.
Well,
You want me to define ideology for you?
Well, I just want to make sure I understand your perspective of it. When you say beyond ethnicity and culture, I believe your culture is what gives you your ideology, and my spirituality. Being a Hebrew Israelite tells you who the creator of the earth is, and what he wants from you, what he commands from us. So, and also gives us our purpose. A lot of us have to have purpose. And so being Hebrew Israelites, it tells us what our purpose is, because he created man, and man's purpose is to be fruitful, is to multiply. It's also to live life and to be, with family, with friends. Of course, we put him first, but, it's all about being fruitful, multiplying, and living and having a great life, and also giving you purpose as the children of Israel. So the problem with being the children of Israel's purpose was to be an example. And the thing is that when you are given such a promotion, like you're a manager or you are the leader, you're in charge, and people are supposed to follow your lead. You're not supposed to follow other people's lead. You're not supposed to go down to their, to the lower class. You're up at the top. It's the reason why you're there. So that's the Israelites are the ones that kept failing, and that's why they kept going into captivity. But if the Israelites were to do what they're supposed to do, then everybody would see them doing right, and that would make them want to do right. Therefore, there shouldn't be sin on earth, and there shouldn't be plagues, and there shouldn't be any need for people to have to go into, captivity, or to go into jail, or, prisons and things like that. So it's just being a Hebrew Israelite gives you purpose. If you walk around saying that you're an agnostic or you're an atheist, you have really no purpose. Why are you here? Why are you here? Why? Why were you here? Why were you created? Why did
Shout
you
out to
even?
Hebrews for sure, for sure. Next question. Last question, actually. In debates, what is the most common misunderstanding people have about your position, and how do you correct it?
Well, one thing I get told a lot is that I'm a bigot or I'm a nationalist or that I'm, racist or something like that. They put me down because they try to say that I try to put myself, being a Hebrew Israelite, above other people. And the thing is that the Bible has a chosen people. And like I said, it's not about these people being better. It's just the fact is that when you work in a certain position or you have a job, there's always somebody that's in command. Now, that person earned the rights to be up there. And with great power comes great responsibility. And like I was just saying, it's not about the Most High. Well, like I said, he did choose these. He chose Shem because Shem was doing a great job. And the Hebrew Israelites are there to do a good job, to be representations of the Most High, for other people to be able to, follow in their example. So people take that, instead of taking that as, you know, as that, they want to take it as if I'm trying to make people less than that, less than the other, or you're a nationalist, you're a racist, you like, all this. And it's like, no, I'm not a racist, I'm not a nationalist.
They try to put you in that category.
Oh yeah, I get told that all the time. I teach hate. I noticed, and if you follow me on Facebook, I'm Naphtali Israel. I may post some things because I have a lot of people that I see people either tag me or they may make posts of African people sticking their heads in cows' butts or getting their heads peed on, or they make fun of it and they put these people down. And my thing is that this is a cultural thing that is done all over the world. It's not just African people. So if I was to show those people doing the same exact thing, they get mad. And people will go underneath my comments and they'll say, well, just because they're doing it doesn't mean you need to do it. Well, no, maybe they'll stop doing it if they see a group of people. It's different when it's another group of people. How about that? So it's a group of people that's protected. They don't want you to show them doing those things, but it's okay to show the other people doing it. And that's one thing I definitely don't like that. I don't like to see people be hypocrites and also show favoritism. It's not fair for you, but I'm supposed to have a higher moral code. I'm supposed to know better and say, well, let me not, I'm stooping low when I show you another person, an Indian person, a Native American person, or a Hispanic person sticking their head up a cow's butt. Instead of trying to say, well, these people are civilized, maybe we need to try to help these other people get out of this. They want to laugh and point at it. But when you show another people, it's like, no, you don't do that. That's not right. And I sit back and I evaluate people. I go, okay, so when I post, if I was to post them doing it, it's funny. But when you post them doing it, it's not funny. I think it's, I just try to, reason and try to understand people. That's all. I'm trying to understand them. I'm racist.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I'm not racist at all. No, but I just tell you, they tell me I'm nationalist. Or when I put down the 12 tribes chart, I also don't subscribe to the 12 tribes chart. They also say that I'm a nationalist.
You heard that out there, debaters? She doesn't subscribe to the 12 tribe chart. That's not one that you're going to be able to get her on.
No, I don't.
Anybody wonder?
Yep, I don't subscribe to this 12 tribes chart. So, a lot of people don't like that. So, when you're in this Hebrew Israelite community, they really, now it's a lot of things they don't like. You can actually be a Torah only and people will still respect you. But if you put down that 12 tribes chart, people have more hate for you, disdain for you than they would for the Torah only. And you would think it would be the opposite.
You know what? That brings me to a question I skipped over, actually.
Okay.
It was, how do you deal with contradictions or misunderstandings between, what was the word? Where is it at? How do you deal with contradictions or misunderstandings between scripture or like the different religious sects of the Hebrews?
Okay. Do you have any examples?
Like how you don't follow the 12 tribe chart and some do.
Well, that's why you got to go into history. That's why you got to go into science, because the Bible tells you, like they quote second address, and then you have to look and see, well, who were these people that actually came to the Americas? That's when you start to look into the Americas, you look into the history of the Americas, and you actually see that there were actually people here uh, thousands of years ago, way before this whole Christopher Columbus thing is a lie. They taught us 1492 Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Yep.
That's like ingrained in my programmed in my brain. And it goes and it makes you go like, why would they want to lie to us about this when they have actual, these ziggurats, here. These people were, that are thousands of years. So they have mummies that they have found here. They actually have, did they did the dating on these mummies, and these mummies are going back 3,500, 3,600 years in Peru. And then they have red hair. So they weren't, they have European DNA. So it wasn't just Native Americans. They have actual European DNA found in these mummies that are going back as old as almost 4,000 years ago. Some maybe even older. And this is not based off of my assumption. This is not based off of my feelings. This is just actual historical anthropological evidence. And so when I bring stuff like that out to people just look at you and they just go like, that completely debunks second address. Okay. First of all, this place always had people here, and these Native Americans, where did they get these traditions from? You know about the Incas, the Mayans. They're the ones that built these ziggurats. They knew how to utilize them. They worship these gods. Where did they get all this knowledge from? All of it links back to the Babylonians. So it's pretty interesting when you really, like I said, when you really sit down and you really take a look at the history, you really take a look at the evidence, and you take your emotions out of it. That's why I like to say I'm a truth seeker. That's why I like to call my subscribers, people who come to my channel, Naphtali New School of Thought, I like to call them truth seekers, because we're actually about the truth. It's not about how we feel. It's about what's true. If I'm Israelite or not, I don't, it's about the truth. What's the truth? Prove it. And, who was here in the Americas? What were they doing here? Who are these gods? And then when you look into these gods and you look at the equivalent of these gods, they all go back to the Middle Eastern. And then you go, wow. And then when you look at the people that were here, their DNA goes back to the people in the Middle Eastern, the Middle East, the Mediterranean. So you start to put together the puzzle.
Heavy stuff right there.
Oh, it when I tell you, and that's why, I tell people, when you look at my videos, I actually do real presentations and I actually showcase to you the information. People actually, doing the DNA analysis on the mummies. The same things that you would see in the Mediterranean, the Middle Eastern area. It's the same stuff that you would see in Peru.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing.
So maybe instead of doing a presentation, we can get you to cover a watch video, like go over one you already recorded one day.
Of course, yeah. I just did one on I can get pretty controversial, okay? So I subscribe to the fallen angels, okay? That too. I subscribe to the fallen angels. The sons of Anak, the Anakim, they have something called elongated skulls.
Oh.
And these skulls are huge, right? And I just did a video on the elongation of these skulls.
What? Yeah, I gotta get you back for that one.
You think it's funny, Indigenous Black man? He's my number one fan, He's my number one fan.
Hey, he's competing for number one with me, so back up.
But see, my thing is, he said I don't have any evidence. The thing is that I have tons of evidence. All you gotta do is take some time and go to my channel and look at it. It's and like you said, you want me to come back? I can do a review. It was on the Canaanite. It's called the Canaanite Connection, Part 5. I have a 5 series on the Canaanites, and I talk about the Canaanites. Because the Canaanites are a very important group of people. Like Indigenous Black men said, "What's the big deal about Hamites?" Well, the thing is that the Hamites, just like with the Israelites, was corrupted. I mean, it was all of it. Was hidden. And so what ended up happening is that we're starting to, review and research like people for a long time would tell you that the word Israel never even existed. But when you look at these different steles and you find the names, and then you look at they tell you the Canaanites were enslaved, they were slaves, and it's like, well, hold on, the Canaanites never even been enslaved. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hold on now, no. The Canaanites, no, that's not true. And then when you start to look at their DNA, they've actually found their civilizations. They're actually found, like I said, they found the Hittites, they found the Sinites, they found the Hivite, they found these people, and they don't go back to Black people. They now Hamites, like I say, are an array of colors, but they are all under the Caucasian. And I know, like I said, I say a lot of things, and if people got a problem with it, you can debate me, or if you're really interested, just take a look at my information. It's like I said, that's why I call it a new school of thought, because I say a lot of things that people, like I said, never heard of, probably someone actually say. Or if you do, they're probably somebody that they'll say where it's like a tinfoil hat, or kind of, like you said, craziness. Craziness. You say what? You said the father of many nations come from in the Middle East. Whatever that's supposed to mean. Why don't you come up here and talk?
Pull up, IBM. He might have to
The
call
DNA of the
phone.
Indians in America are Asians, not European. No, actually, look into Teddy, since you're so concerned. If you want to tell me I'm wrong, I love how people sit up here and tell me I'm wrong and don't know nothing I'm talking about. Look into the Paracas people, and they'll tell you for you, since you need to know. Or you can Google it if you want to. Just Google Paracas people DNA. I don't have to lie. Just Google Paracas people DNA. Goes back to Europeans. It'll say yes. Ask ChatGPT. Yes. I mean, like I said, we're in an age where you don't have time to lie. I don't have time to make a mistake, because the information is in the palm of your hand. That's how we're in this information age. So why would I get up here and say stuff when all you got to do is just Google it? Yeah. It's just a simple Google search. I don't say anything that requires you to think about. All you got to do is just Google it.
And it's like,
that's when I get into the thing about people actually caring. Because that's when you start to know that people, when that person doesn't care, they just don't like it, and they just want to be a troll.
Mm-hmm. Ignoring sources and scholarship and everything.
I'm huge. And then, I've been doing this for about 6-7 years now. And I've been on the stage, and I've actually talked to people. Like I said, I've been on Garfield's panel. I've been over there. I talk with Unc. I talk to many different people, and they'll laugh at you in your face. I use Wikipedia. It was like, you Wikipedia? Oh my gosh, So you learn. You learn over time. You start to say, okay, well, I utilize Encyclopedia Britannica. I utilize real, authentic sources. Nothing that is that you can turn your nose up at. I don't play around, because people will call you out on it. And trust me, they'll laugh at you and say, hey, she used Wikipedia. So if I do use Wikipedia, I also will use Encyclopedia Britannica on top of that, the New World Encyclopedia, and any other source I have. I don't just use one.
They laughed me out of a few panels for pulling up the Wikipedia too.
Oh, well, they didn't.
When I first started.
They didn't laugh me out. What they did was they laughed at it, and then I said, well, if you don't like that one, then how about this? And then I don't come with one. I come with many. Like I said, if I pull it up, they say, oh no, what is that? And I go, oh, you don't like that? Fine. Then what about this one? Then they'll go, Okay, got your attention now. Like one time I had a conversation with Garfield about the name of Shem and Sumer.
Mhm.
He actually brought a linguist, and he actually ended up agreeing with me. So people will, call you out. So I don't have time for people in the chat to tell me, uh, that I'm making up stuff. Why would I do that when people can just, like I said, people can call a linguist and double check me right while I'm talking to them.
Right.
So
Facts.
call a
It
friend.
it does seem like the smarter the phones get, the dumber the people are getting. But
I,
I don't know.
I, mm, like I said, I had to pray for my people because sometimes I look at my people and I go like, man, what's wrong with these folks? Like, godly, and then it gets to the point where people actually would get offended and get mad, and it's like, okay, that's when it's a spiritual thing.
Yeah,
So I just look at them.
it sucks when they do that though, because it's like you're supposed to be concerned about the condition of your people, but they want you to be so empathetic and understanding that you just turn a blind eye to it because you're supposed to understand the conditions that put them there. I think, and I mean, I think a lot of people agree like it's by design. So, but I don't know. It's a weird place and space to be in when you're caught in that situation with somebody.
It really is. And this person says Native Americans are Asian descent. You can't prove me wrong. No,
They
no,
just said
they're actually
anything.
right. No, they're fine. That's right. Look into the Silk Road. Look into the Silk Road, the ancient Silk Road. I like to call it like the Yellow Brick Road. Look into the ancient Silk Road because what that does is it showcases to you how all these people see they want to. It's a lot of history that people don't know about. So when you look into the ancient Silk Road, it talks about the Asians, and they were the ones who were manufacturing silk and how they were distributing that all around the world. So they talk about them traveling. So yeah, and the Native Americans also linked to the Hittites as well, Indo-European. So yeah, Native Americans, are not original to the Americas. But what I was saying is, my point is that they want you to believe that the Native Americans were there, uh, first when there was a Middle Easterner people that were there too. Middle Easterner, which go like they had red hair and pale skin. Go back to the European.
And who was that? That was Teddy. Teddy user my out. Rob, peace to you, brother. Peace to you. He says I should have said something to you. I'm not up here as a debater tonight. I'm up here as the unbiased host, platform owner.
You
So
should
I
check
don't.
me. Check me about Asians having. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, and I don't
Did I?
debate on
When did
my
I say
channel
that they
anyway.
were
So
Native? When did I say that? When did I say that Native Americans and Asians aren't the same? I don't recall saying that. Did
but
I say
peace
that?
to you, brother. Shout out to you for tapping in. Peace, Titan family. Peace, Courtney
I
Thompson.
was expecting you to push back a little bit more. I thought we would have been talking more on the
Uh,
agnostic tip.
I don't usually push back on interviews and people in the league because I'm overseeing it. And then like I've seen it done before. We'll talk a little bit about it off stage. Like I just I think it's a poor taste when I'm trying to run a platform for everybody and I really feel like everybody's voice matters. From the agnostic perspective, I think all of y'all don't know what y'all talking about. So it's like I have
Ooh.
no reason to be biased to anyone
Mm.
um, because I'm generally in search of the truth. So I don't know whose mouth is going to come out of. Like, so every podcast is a new day to learn something for me. It's not necessarily to fight you on the things I disagree with, but to find new meaning, new understanding, to learn things from you that I didn't know. Like, that's what I'm here for. It's not,
Okay.
I don't care about body slamming people over these points. Like, whatever we disagree on, we can put that to the side. What can we agree on or what can we build on? And what common ground do we have? That's all. That's usually what I look for when I talk to people. Which, when you get in these back chats and stuff, it's hard to even have a conversation if that's the type of time you're on because everybody wants to try to fight and argue with you. So I
He said
usually just,
Abraham came from the Hebrews. Okay. I'm saying, what were you saying? You said you usually went down.
Yeah, nothing. No, I'm saying I usually keep my opinions to myself because people are rude and
That's the thing about
disrespectful.
agnostics. They like to you get to be on the fence. You don't have to really own. You don't have to. You can stay out. You don't really have a, and that's why people like to be agnostics, because you can take all the good from certain things, but you don't have to uphold the bad. So I
Yeah,
can I start to figure you
that's
guys out.
very true. That's very true because I feel like I can take, I just take what works for me. Like I have a code of morals and ethics. I think it probably comes from my Christian background, really. Um, so I mean, I'm happy for that. Um, I treat people how I want to be treated. I'm empathetic. I think about other people before I do stuff. Like how would I feel if this happened to me? No, I shouldn't do it this way. Let me do it this way. I try to be cognizant of my actions and how they affect others. So, you know. But yeah, I do take a little bit from everything and like kind of just mix it and do my own thing. Um, I got all the text over all the different Abrahamic text over here. The Old Testament, New Testament, the Torah. I got the I got the Egyptian Book of the Dead. I don't even like calling it that. I meant to call it what's the word I'm looking for? What's the phrase? The other original
No, you
Pera
said the
Pera Emharu.
veteran.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so I'm just into it all. I'm actually
You
about to
did
start
all of
reading
it.
like the
Mhm.
Buddhism stuff. I'm about to start tapping into more of
Yeah,
that.
I can definitely tell you're getting ready to. That's where they want you to go, because when you look at Buddhism, Buddhism actually links with evolution.
Really?
Yes, I
You
believe.
have a presentation on that too?
I don't see,
Okay. I'm about to
but
check your
it's
page out
something that
though.
but Buddhism actually links. If you wanted to actually, when you do take your time and look into that, if anything you want to look into, you can look into how Buddhism links with evolution, because I believe that God, don't quote me on it, uh, has 10 avatars, and they
Mm,
evolve from the fish to the, what I'm saying, you'll see how it links. So all of it is when you, like I said, when you look in Buddhism links to evolution. I know you don't know. That's, you see how you're surprised you never heard that before. you
yeah, I've
know
never heard that before.
you
What
know
you
what,
just said.
actually, I don't even mind sharing my screen on that if you want me to. I don't
Definitely, definitely. And while you're
um
doing that, I'll share mine though to let everybody know where they can go follow you at Nefertali's New School of Thought on YouTube. Go ahead and give her a subscribe. Drop a comment on something. I know one thing. One day I commented on one of your videos, maybe like a month or two ago, and you actually responded. Like, thank you for supporting. I was so surprised. But you made me start doing that. I'm like,
oh,
I'm like, you know what? I need to do the same thing. When people comment on my stuff, I should do the same thing, and they'll probably have the same response I had. Because I was shocked. I was like excited. Like, what? She actually responded to my comment?
I respond to everybody's comments.
That's pretty dope. Pretty dope.
I try to when it's a live, I try to make sure I respond to everybody's comments, because um like I said, one second, um trying to type and think. There we go. But like I said, because I'm really interested in hearing people's opinions and their concerns. So I try to
And let's look at some of these titles on your page so that way people can see what's in store when they go over there. Can strong belief in evolution be a mental illness? What? I gotta watch this. I like that. Nefertali freestyles and expose. What? You rap? You do music?
now, which
It
one was that? Which one was that?
says Nefertali freestyles and exposes hidden occultism. Like
Oh,
freestyle talking, or were you like doing music?
probably freestyle talking. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say
Yeah.
you were rapping. I gotta watch that one too. Canaanite Connection, Part 5, The Forbidden Lineage. how Canaanite blood links to Nephilim Anunnaki. Is that what that?
Yeah, there you go. I told you, I really go in. I go in. That's why I say a lot of people go like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what is she talking about? Like, I go into the Anunnaki. I go into. And people probably never even heard of the Sumerians, never heard of the Anunnaki, never heard of any of that. So, you know, it's a it's pretty interesting. Like I said, it's a lot. And you know, where do you begin, where do you start? And the one thing that I really recommend everybody to look into really is, like I said, I have things on creation, I have things on
Sorry, I didn't know you were sharing your screen.
am I sharing it? No, I'm not sharing it yet. Don't do it.
Oh, don't share it.
I'm trying to do this on the spot. And like I said, I wish I would have had this prepared for you. I would have to really come back because like I said, it's like I said, Krishna is the goddess, and they have 10 avatars, and they all go back. It's like I said, it's a lot. So let's see. Yeah, so.
And I see your part 5 series too on the Canaanite.
Yeah. So my part 5, if you look, I have on my part 5 series, I have a big old skull. And if you look at my thumbnail, I have and that's the actual skull of the Paracas. And I talk about that's a real skull. They actually have them, and that's where people get the cranial deformation from. They get it from these people that were found in the Paracas, Peru. And these people. Oh, if you want to click on it, go. You can. I don't mind. I can talk about it if you want me to.
Yeah, I just muted it. I was just going to try to pull up the skull, see if you have a picture somewhere in this. Oh, sheesh. He has it in his hand.
It's a whole video. It's a really nice. I tell you, I go into really good. He's actually does a study on the skulls. That's why I tell you, I go into science. He's an actual. That's the skull right there. That's real. And he actually goes into the museums and he actually evaluates these skulls. And that's why I tell you, people who really want to know the truth, they, will come check out my information, because I don't just go based off of how I feel. I actually go into the people who are actually the scientists and the people who are the researchers who are actually there. This is an actual skull of a Paracas Peruvian, and this DNA of that person goes back to a European. So, and they show you when you look at the skull, it's actually pretty interesting, because they actually look at how it differs. Because we have, like I tell you, if you take your time and you actually really look at the video, I have him explained, and I have another person explained, and then I come in and I explain from the biblical perspective. I put it all together. I wrap it up in a nice bow for everybody. So. It's fun. Like I tell you, it's really fun. And I try to make my videos fun. I talk about the cone heads at the beginning. If you scroll back to the beginning of the video, have you ever watched the movie The Cone Heads?
You said scroll back to the beginning?
Yeah, if you can scroll back, I want you to see the cone heads.
Gotcha. I remember that movie too.
Yeah.
So that's what the cone heads were based off of the Canaanites?
Well, when you look at the movies, the Coneheads, it's about a group of aliens, pretty much, that came down to Earth, right? So when you go back, right there, you see them? Okay, so they were these aliens who came to take over Earth, and I'm not saying that. So his name was Baaldar, which is pretty much like the god Baal. And when you look at the story of the Anunnaki, or you look at the story of the fallen angels, they came down from the heavens to earth. And what you have here is these people with these elongated skulls. And they actually have people that actually have this in real life. And these people were actually associated with knowledge. They were actually associated with beauty. And people were elongating their skulls. That's why you see people in Africa they actually were elongating their skulls, cranial deformation, their children, because they wanted to look like them. The ruling class, they were the elite. So they were actually saying, how did this huge, you see how big that skull is? So what
Mm-hmm.
they're saying, what I'm saying is that when the fallen angels came down, they mixed with the daughters of man. That's what the Bible says. So they created what we would call a Nephilim, or a Nephilim hybrid, or a human hybrid, or what the Greeks would call a demigod, or what the Bible calls a Nephilim. You know what I'm saying? That this pretty much a extraterrestrial being came down with a terrestrial and made a subhuman, and that's what they say this skull is. And that's what I'm saying right there. You see it? This is actual person in the lab coat with this huge skull, and they're showing you this person, and they're telling you that hey, who are these people? They're over 3,000 years old, and they're in they're in Europe. I mean, they're in the Americas, and they're also found in the Middle East too. And he says non-scholarship. This guy right here is going to tell, if you listen to him, he's going to give you all the scholarship. Goodness, people are tough.
Brian Foster, assistant director of Paracas History Museum.
Yes, he has a museum. He's there. He has the skull. What more do you need? There's people with the skull there, and I made some fun, of course. I know you didn't make me got all out of what I was doing here. Let me come back to you really quick 1 second. Let me talk to you really quick. Because since you got my video up here. Hold on, where am I at? There I am. Okay. You got me up here, right? So you see me, and what I'm doing is, this is what since we got my video up here. This is my Canaanite part 5 video. I actually talk about the Canaanites. And why do I bring up the Canaanites? Because the Canaanites are the ones who are said to be the sons of Anak. Have you ever heard of the sons of Anak?
I haven't. First
The
time
Anak in the Bible, the Anak are considered to be giants. Okay, so they talk about giants in the Bible. They said that they felt like they were like grasshoppers. That's what they say in the Bible. The Israelites, when they came to the land of Canaan, they saw these people, and they said they felt like grasshoppers. It felt like they were so tall that they were like these little grasshoppers. Could you imagine how tall that is? If you feel like a grasshopper to somebody? And that's what they wrote. So when you find a skull that size in the middle, they have them in the Middle East too. And they find these skulls of these people. What does that prove? That these people must have been giants, right? And so that actually goes with what the Bible says. Now, I like to be funny. I like to play games, and I like have some fun. That's why I showed the cone heads, but that's where they got it from, because these people actually there actually was a ruling elite class of people who had cone heads. I mean, I really wish you would, talk with me and tell me how you feel about what I'm saying, since we got my video up here.
I think it's an interesting theory.
I mean, you don't have to worry about offending me, because we got people.
I'm about to tell you how I honestly feel. I love the alternative theories. Anything that kind of goes away from the original narrative, I appreciate, because it's like, who's to say what's really true? Because once we get to talking about my studies and what led me to where I am now and what I would need to come back, you would understand. But
see, that's the thing, and I don't want to cut you off, but I want you to hear me out with this, because you say, and this is what I need, because trying to reach people like you, or the person Asiatic 777, that's my number one fan. So anyway, that's my number one fan. They love me, but they always show up. Thank you, Asiatic 777. But like I was saying, but for someone like you, I know that you probably take more of the scientific approach of it, when I'm utilizing science to prove the Bible. So, I'm just trying to figure out, I got the skull, I got the actual person of the head of the museum showcasing these elongated skulls, and then I link it to the Bible. I'm just saying to you, would that be something that's, you could understand? I mean, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I'm about to watch this whole video.
And then you see the beginning with the cone heads, with the God, there are these elite class of people that came down from the heavens. Well, are you familiar with the Anunnaki gods?
Yes.
All right, good.
Anu and Enlil.
Yes. Okay, so you got Anu and Enlil, right? So you got these gods, and you have them. They came. They're these. The Bible calls them fallen angels.
Mhm.
The Sumerians called them the Anunnaki. They came because they're just they came those that came down from heaven. They came down and they started to mix with the daughters of man. Now we see this narrative all around the world with the Greeks, with the Romans. The Greeks call them demigods, the Nephilim, the Anakim with the Sumerians, the Babylonians. So we have all this. So we actually find the skulls, these huge skulls of giants, in the land of Canaan, where the Israelites said that they saw people that were made them feel like they were grasshoppers. And I try to say to myself, how much more information do you need? And you say there's no scholarship. Well, if you sit there and you watch these people who actually did DNA analysis on these skulls, that's my scholarship right there.
Hey.
I actually show them they actually pull the skulls out. They actually have the lab coats on. They explain to you the foramen magnum. You know what the foramen magnum is?
Never heard of it.
You never heard of the foramen magnum? Okay. Okay, you controlling the video. I want you to scroll.
You
Keep scrolling. I'm gonna tell you where
you
scroll. I'm gonna show you what the foramen magnum is. Keep going.
You can see the little mini thing.
I'm watching you. Keep going. Keep going. Right. Okay, hold on. You kind of go back. Maybe it's him. This is L.A. Marzulli. Okay, let me see. Does he show the foramen? Kind of moving there. Okay, there we go. Keep going. There it is right there. Boom. Go back. Right there. That hole in the head. Okay. The hole at the bottom where the skull, where the spine, right there. Right there. You see that?
Yeah.
All right. That there, guys, is we all have these. This is what attaches our spinal cords to our skull, right? They show you how far back this is in this skeletal skull. Is completely different than the way ours is, and they actually explain to you it's twice the size of a regular us so-called African Americans. We have the dolichocephalic skull, and that's what proves that we're black people have the dolichocephalic. This skull here is more of a Mediterranean European type skull, Middle Easterners, and they look at the foramen magnum right up in there. Like I said, I don't just say things. I actually have real, scientific, historical, and archaeological proof to showcase that these people actually existed. I mean, what is people? People are willing to believe that they came out of what did they say? It rained on rocks, and then a ooze of this pond or this ooze formed, right? Is that the story of evolution? It rained on some rocks, and then the rocks rain mixed. This is what people believe. The water mixed with the elements of the rock, and then all of a sudden, this ooze. I guess like the secret of the ooze,
Mm-hmm.
A fish just came.
Sounds like Ghostbusters.
But this is what people believe. Like these people would tell me, they say, "Oh, a fish just came," and then the fish just all of a sudden said, "Oh, I think I want some lungs," and they just started to get lungs. And then it came out.
Mizraim.
Oh, this is my friend.
Do you know Pharaoh?
Hey, shalom.
Yeah, peace. Can you hear me?
Shalom.
Yes, I can. What's going on?
Yeah. I was searching browsing through YouTube, and I just happened to see this video with your name on it.
You always have to come on. What you want to challenge me on today?
Yeah. Now the question I have is, you said that.
Did you watch this video?
Hold on. 2 questions. 1, did you subscribe?
He says he knows. We've been cool for a long time.
And two, do you come in peace? Okay, you said you've been cool. Okay, go
He
ahead.
knows he probably is gonna come to attack me. That's fine. But did you watch this video though?
I believe that's the video I came on, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I didn't do it live on this one.
Um,
So you didn't watch it. So you can't. You gotta watch it before you critique me.
yeah, but I was going to ask you a question about the 12 tribes chart.
And what's that?
Yeah, so you disagree with the 12 tribes chart, right?
I do.
Okay, now if you disagree with the 12 tribes chart, then why still call yourself an Israelite?
Why do I call myself an Israelite?
Yeah, if you disagree with the 12 tribes chart.
What does the chart have to do with being an Israelite?
Yeah, because that is like the foundation of why Black Americans are claiming to be Israelites because of that chart. And
No.
you guys sitting up here saying you disagree with it, but you're still calling yourself an Israelite. Now, I think that's hypocritical and
Ooh-wee.
contradicting.
That's not true. That's not true.
I'm not an Israelite, and I could debunk that one. Go ahead, though, Naphtali.
Thank you for having my back on that. My brother Zion Lex went live last night. Did a great job on the 12 tribes chart. And somebody had left that same comment to him. I wonder if that was you. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it was.
Is there that was you that left that to him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did he respond to you?
No, he didn't. I got a lot of other responses though.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. You gotta understand there is 12 tribes of Israel, right? There is 12 tribes of Israel. So does that mean a 12 tribes chart exists? Yes. But guess what? They got that one wrong. Is that fair?
Okay. Now, could you like explain like the main reason why you think it's wrong?
I can't explain to you, and that's my whole narrative is the fact that
Osiris. Sorry, my dog.
you're okay.
My apologies.
The thing is that the people that they have on the chart are not Israelites.
Okay.
And you know who I say they are.
Okay. Now, it's because that's. I mean, is that because they're not mentioned in the Bible, or
no? Because if you look at them historically, their historical past, their DNA, their traditions, everything links them to more of a Hamitic type of people. That's why they're the Hamites. Yeah. That's why the people that they have on the chart, when we look at the Native Americans, when we look at the Hispanics, they all link back to Hamite.
okay,
And that's what my 5-point series, guys, on the Canaanites is all about. It's proving who the Canaanites are.
Okay, now being that you said that, okay, how can they not be the Israelites, but your ancestors, the Negroes from West Africa, can be the Israelites?
Same reason. But go ahead, finish.
Yeah, because you said that they are Hamites, but wasn't the land that the Negroes taken from, was that the land of Ham?
No, and that's one thing that you and I didn't we debate that already, talking about the Book of Jubilees?
Yes, we did. Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't want Shem or Ham to be in Africa, but the Bible makes it very clear that Africa was the land of Ham. It even says it in Psalms, in the book of Psalms, Egypt is the land of Ham.
Okay, but Africa is a continent, and we have to understand that, yes, that when you look at the haplogroup E1B1B, and then you look at the haplogroup E1B1A, right? The sub-Saharan Africans are separated from the Northern Africans. I'm actually about to release a video actually talking about the Hamites. I don't know if you've been following the Somalian thing. Have you guys been following that Somalian thing?
Nope, I'm not familiar. Can you
Okay, the Somalians they are all over the news. They talk about how they're not black. They're not us. You know,
Yeah, yeah. Because what I'm not understanding is, okay, how can you say that
that's not,
Africa?
and it's not a problem. But I want to just finish that. It's not a problem that they're saying that, but what it is that, you know, it just it. The thing is that they it's the thing is the Somalians are correct. They're not. They're the actual Hamites. They're the Hamites of and their DNA, except their haplogroup is separated from ours. The Somalians, the Ethiopians, the Sudanese, like you said, the Egyptians, the Berbers, all the Northern Africans all share the same
Hmm,
haplogroup E1B1B. Then you have
hmm,
the sub-Saharan Africans, which are the Bantu. The Bantu Africans have the E1B1A. We're separated. And when you actually go in, they'll tell you that the Phoenicians, who are the Canaanites, have the E1B1B DNA. And they are the ones that link to the Lebanese, the Berbers, what you would call the Middle Easterners, as well as the so-called Jews. They all have the E1B1B, which
hmm.
links back to the Phoenicians.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's Canaanite DNA.
Okay, so you do agree that Hamites were in Africa?
Of course, yes. The Hamites they came into, see what I was telling you originally, and they spread abroad. So what I was telling you was that the Hamites came into Africa. They invaded Shem's land. The land was originally given to Shem. Did Ham come in and take the land? It tells you that the Canaanites came in and took the land of Canaan. I mean, Israel. So what happened is also Egypt came in, and then more the Cushites. The Horn of Africa is where all the Cushites are. The Ethiopians, the
Hmm.
Eritreans, they all are the Cushites. Then you have Mitzrayim, which is over there where we say Egypt is, and then you have Put, and then you have a lot of the more Canaanites, which is where the Berbers, the so-called Moroccans, all of them, which is where they, you know, the beautiful thing is if you Google it, it'll just tell you that that's true. You know, I can't believe how easy the information is just readily available. Like I said,
Yeah, yeah. So you say that Ham took Shem's land, but that still means that Shem was not there. Ham was there.
well, what happened is that um, Shem was allotted a lot of land. And so Shem eventually migrated further in. That's what Second Esdras was about. See, when the Israelites got kicked out of kicked out of our land, they started to go further into. That's why they say the Bantu expansion. They started to go further into the southern region of Africa. The Bantu expansion. See, the Bantus are the Shemites.
Hmm. And
The
you're saying that Second Esdras said that.
the second Esdras talks about the children of Israel had to go into a land where mankind never dwelt. So what we have to conclude is when they crossed over, they were walking, they were on foot. So they had to go. So they went southern, which went more into the southern region of Africa. That's where
So
the Jews
so
went.
Second Esdras said that they went into the southern regions of Africa.
It says when you have to look into they went into a land called Arsarit. And so
Hmm.
when you look at what Arsarit is, it goes with how it goes with the narrative that the Israelites went more into the southern region of Africa.
Oh, but Second Esdras didn't say that. You said that.
Well, Second Esdras says that the Israelites went into a land where mankind never dwelt. So no, it does not specifically say that. But if I was to actually pull it up and show you, then I can tell you that that's where they went.
I'm saying my thing is, if you're admitting that Hamites were in Africa, they were in Egypt, they were the Berbers to the west. So how is it that is the land of Ham and the rest of Africa is not the land of Ham when that's all one connected land? It makes no
Because
sense.
we have Procopius, right? Procopius. We have
Uh-huh.
historians also who tells you that when the Canaanites got kicked out of the land of Canaan, more of them went into Africa. They were not originally there. So the Canaanites actually spread it abroad, right? The Canaanites are actually found all the way in Europe. The land of Europe is named after a Canaanite woman, correct? Europa is a Canaanite woman, Phoenician woman. That's where Europe gets its name. Also, we see that the Hittites were located where? In Asia Minor, where the land of the Anatolia, Turkey. That's where the Hittites were located. Then you got the Sinaites. The Sinaites, who are the Canaanites, are also located in Asia. That's where the Asians get sign from. Han, the Han people are the Ham people. Cham are the Khan people. Khan. Khan means ham. Cham means ham. I mean, you saw this presentation. Why are you? Why? That's what I'm saying to you. That's what I was telling him. You see my brother A1. He gives me a hard. This was giving me a hard time when I have a lot of information. I just don't know why you don't. Why don't you want the Canaanites? I don't know what your issue is right now.
Yeah, because I don't. Me personally, I don't agree with most of what you said.
I don't know why. I'm actually bringing to you. Look, Radio 1.
Because you're going against the Bible. And
how?
Yeah, because I mean, what you're saying is none of it is mentioned in the Bible, and the closest source that we have to the Bible is Josephus Flavius. He makes it very clear that the Shemites, the land of Shem, was to the east of the Tigris Euphrates, and the land of Ham was Egypt and all the land to the west, and Cush and Libya. Libya.
I'm glad you mentioned Josephus.
Yes, Libya was all of Africa. So that was not only the land of Ham, but it was also Mizraim territory. So because Mizraim, Libya was from east to west, from Egypt to the Atlantic, from north to south, from North Africa, from Libya from the Mediterranean to South Africa. Libya was all of Africa, and that belongs to the descendants of Mizraim. So that would be considered the land of Ham as well. So and you saying that the Native Americans were Hamites and the Africans were not Hamites, and Africa was the land of Ham. It's not making any sense to me.
That's not because you're not. That's why, because you're clearly you're missing a lot of what I'm saying. I want you to take some time. And you said Josephus, right? You think he's a credible source?
Yes.
But Josephus actually said that Africa is named after Abraham's grandson. Go ahead and do a quick Google search on that right now. Tell me what you think.
Yes. Africa.
Yeah, I know. Radio 1, I don't know. You like for me to have to keep getting these off on you, and you still don't.
Libya was before Africa.
Radio 1, Abraham, you said Josephus is the source. I asked you, what's your source? Yes. I asked you who you want. You said Josephus. So I'm using Josephus right now. Josephus said that Abraham's grandson is where Africa received its name, from a Shemite.
Yeah, first of all, Africa is not even in the Bible.
Just told me you needed me to use
that doesn't help your case.
Okay. You see how you move the goalposts?
Yeah, Africa is not in the Bible. And ancient Africa was North Africa on the Mediterranean. It was not even all of Africa. But Libya was all of Africa. That's what you're not understanding.
No, what you're not understanding is this. In the book of Jubilees, chapter 8 through 10, I explained to you that Shem inherited the middle of the earth. The middle of the earth is Africa. When you actually look at the middle of the earth, and you look at it from the top to the bottom, Africa is the middle of the earth.
And
Shem's lot is the middle. Hold on. Shem's lot is the middle of the earth all the way to India, correct? So from that assumption, from that information, we should say, okay, Shem inherited this land. But guess what? The Hamites, Canaanites, were jealous of the land. This is not me. This is what it said in the book. And he stole the land of Shem. Then eventually we see that Ham started to come in and they started to take land out of the land of Shem. I told you, The northern region of Africa was inherited. I mean, was moved in by the Canaanites and the Hamites. They took the northern region of Africa. You look at the E1B1B haplogroup. They tell you that haplogroup goes all the way back to the Phoenician Canaanites. That's not me. That's what science says. E1B1B. Do a quick Google search right now. Boom, look it up. Goes right to the Phoenicians.
Yeah, but Shem was never there though.
Hold on. Who does the E1B1B link to?
Shem was never there.
No,
So how can you be Shem when Shem was never there?
If the E1B1B links to, hold on, if the E1B1B links to the Caucasians, the so-called Ethiopians, Egyptians, it also links to the Jews, the so-called Jews. They all have the E1B1B DNA haplogroup. The so-called Bantu, which is the Africans at the lower region, Southern Sub-Saharan, or what they call the Negro, they have the E1B1A. We're not the Hamite. If we're not the Hamite, then who are we? Are we the beasts of the field? Do you agree with that narrative?
If we're not the Hamite,
are you saying that?
According to the Bible, we are the Hamites.
No, no. We're not the Hamites. They have
when you say that Africa is in the middle of the earth, what is it sitting in between?
It sits when you look at the map of the world. They have the North American continent, Africa's in the middle, and then they have the East Asian continent. To the right. Africa's in the middle. And then remember, Africa is twice the size that they're showcasing, and these other places are smaller. They're not even that big. Africa's huge. They're showcasing Africa very small. But hold on, Reagan, listen to what I'm saying to you, honey. Listen to me. I want you to listen to me. Listen to me. Okay. They came in and they took the land of Shem. They moved in. Procopius tells you that more Canaanites moved in when they got kicked out of the land of Canaan. Guess what? They took over they took over our land. We went into Canaan, which we named Israel, and then we got kicked out. So what happened? The Canaanites were already in our land. We had to go southern down to the land where nobody was. That's why I said that's Arsareth. So we went down to the southern region of Africa. It actually makes sense historically as well as biblically. I don't know why you don't like it.
Yeah, first of all, America is not even mentioned in the Bible. So how could Africa be in between America and Asia? That makes no sense.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the name is.
If you take America out, Shem is the middle of the earth.
No, it says
Asia. The Middle East is the middle of the earth, not Africa.
No,
yeah, I'm sorry, but you
the Middle East is. You can include that too. That was Shem's. You got to understand, Shem inherited the mass of the land. The land of Israel was not that tiny slither of land. Israel is actually the whole Middle East. That land is actually what Israel. That's the land that just goes to Israel by themselves. When you listen to Netanyahu, he says that he wants to take what he called Greater Israel. He wants Greater Israel because that's actually all of Israel's inheritance is what he called Greater Israel. Netanyahu says that. So he's trying to achieve, he wants to claim all of the Middle East. And he wants to take that because he says that that's the land that belongs to Israel, which is correct. But that's not all of Shem's and only Shem's land. Shem is supposed to be the one that's supposed to be the fruitful and multiply. The Most High gave us the whole continent of Africa, and he gave us India. Guess what? When you look at the E1B1B, it's not us. We're not there because the Hamites came in and took it. And they tell you that in the Book of Jubilees. We've talked about this, and I've told you that. You said the east of the Tigris and the Euphrates. Well, guess who's in the east of the Tigris and the Euphrates? The Amorites. Right? Didn't we discuss the Amorites was at the east of the Tigris and the Euphrates?
Yeah, and I didn't agree with that.
Yeah, the Babylon was where? Is in Iran, correct? Isn't
Babylon.
Babylon
No,
Iran,
it is.
Iraq?
It is in
Babylon,
Iraq. It's in
huh?
Iraq. It is in Iraq. Yeah.
But Babylon is Iran, Iraq, correct?
Iraq.
Okay.
Yes.
And guess what? Amorites did what? They're the ones who discovered, they're the ones that created Babylon.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
I know.
I don't.
I don't know
Yeah,
why you
I
want
gotta.
to.
Yeah. I gotta take off. But yeah, I don't agree with. Yeah. With that.
I know you just don't like it. I keep on everything I
Yeah,
say to you. It doesn't matter.
It goes against everything. It goes against the Bible. It goes
No, it
against
doesn't.
history.
Everything you said actually goes with the Bible. You haven't. Everything I said goes with the Bible. Every single thing I said. I have not contradicted, nor have I disproven the Bible with what I've said. I've actually proven it. The Babylonians are the Amorites. The Amorites are who the Bible says are the ones that are going to inflict the iniquity upon the Israelites for 400 years.
Yeah.
It goes with what happened to us as we were inflicted for 400 years. And America is named after who? Where did America get its name? It got its name from the Amorites.
Yeah, that's your opinion.
It's not. You just take a quick Google search and Google Amorites.
Yeah, but
we're at the day and age where I don't have time to make up things when you can just look in your phone and Google it. I don't have time for that no more. People are gonna Google and then tell me what it says.
Yeah, for
the Babylon was established by America. I mean, by the Amorites.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can.
Wasn't Babylon established by the Amorites? Was not? Isn't Babylon the Great? Isn't Babylon supposed to be ruling right now? According to
actually, Babylon was founded by Nimrod and the sons of Cush. The sons of Cush. Okay. I don't agree with that. That goes against the Bible.
Okay, so when Nimrod he established it, and guess what? The Amorites came in, and after the Most High destroyed it, they came back, and they're the ones that built it again. The Most High destroyed it, did he not? Yes, the Tower of Babel, which was in Babylon. The Most High scattered everybody, and he took all of that, and he got rid of it all. He confounded the language. He confused everything. He took it all down. You're talking about Intimanaki, right?
Yeah, but that still doesn't prove that the Amorites founded it. Yeah,
it does prove it, because all you got to do is who is won't you Google right now who created the old Babylonian Empire?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Hammurabi? Have you ever heard of Hammurabi?
Nimrod and the Assyrians.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I gotta take off.
The Assyrians came in later. The Assyrians did rule. They were you gotta understand, the Assyrians did rule Babylon, but the Amorites are the ones that founded it. So you gotta understand what Babylon is. Babylon is a colony. It's a colonized. So the thing is that when Babylon ruled, people still were able to keep their identity. They just kept the mindset of Babylon, like how America is. Even though, right now you look in Africa, right? Like Nigeria is not even named after, they're not even speaking their languages. They're not even, in Africa, these places are colonized. You know what I'm saying? They speak in French, they're speaking English, and they have the mindset of the people that colonized them. That's the same thing that happened with Babylon. The Assyrians kept the same gods, kept the same laws, rules as the Babylonians, correct? Correct? With the Chaldeans, correct?
The Assyrians?
Yes, the Assyrians kept the same gods and the same everything as the Babylonians, correct?
Yes.
Yes, the Assyrians as well as the Persians. The Persians had it too. The Chaldeans had it too. The Elamites had it too. They all were under the Babylonians. The only difference is that they were able to keep their empires, but Babylon has always been there and is still ruling to this day.
Yeah, that's your opinion. And
no, it's not. That's not my opinion.
It's not a fact. It's not a fact.
When in Iraq, right? When what was Saddam Hussein trying to build? What was he trying to build?
Ziggurat.
Okay, and who came up with the ziggurats?
I would say Nimrod and the Cushites.
So you don't want to give anything to the Amorites.
Yeah.
I know, because you see how this is. That's what I'm talking about. That's fine. That's okay. It's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. But I have to take off. I wish I had more time, but
I know it says here the Amorites ruled the Babylon. They're the ones they said the Amorites were. The Amorites were the first dynasty of Babylon. It was the Amorites. Hammurabi was the king of Babylon. Everybody knows who Hammurabi is. So the Code of Hammurabi, right? The Code of Hammurabi. Have you ever heard of the Code of Hammurabi?
Yeah, I heard of that. Yeah.
Okay, so who? What was Hammurabi? He was an Amorite. He was a king on the Babylonian throne.
Yeah, I have to do more research on that, but
please do take a look at my Part 5 series on the Canaanites.
Yeah. Well, but hopefully we'll come across again and we can discuss more.
I'll be live again. Don't worry, I'm about to do my Hamite video. I will be doing a whole breakdown on Ham. So you know how to find me.
Yeah, I just hope you're ready for the smoke.
Don't you know you're always the one that's always leaving. I hope you learned something today.
Yeah. Well, sister, it was nice talking to you.
It was my pleasure as always.
Yeah, and I just
I gave you. I hope you took notes. I hope you wrote everything I said down and go back and do some research for yourself.
Yeah, indeed.
Yes. Well, so like I told you, the Amorites were the ones who reestablished the Babylonian Empire after Nimrod. Yes, he did. That's correct.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I'll holler at you later, and I'll let you get back to your show. All right. Peace, sister.
Look into Genesis 15. Genesis 15. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and peace, brother A1, and thanks for letting me on your platform. All right, peace. I'm out.
All right. Are you still there, A1?
Oh, I'm over here talking. My mic is muted. I was saying appreciate you, Pharaoh. Thanks for coming up with good decorum. I said smash that thumbs up and hit that bell so you get a notification every time we go live on the way out. We're going to go to closing statements. But before we do that, we're going to go to a word from our sponsors. Let's pause the noise for a second, because if you're still here right now, you're already different. Not everyone gets this. Not everyone understands real debate, real scholarship, real intellectual smoke. But you do. This is Coliseum of Arguments. This is Titans Debate League. And what happens here doesn't survive on algorithms. It survives on the people who believe in it. When you support through Cash App, you're not just donating. You're fueling the arena. You're the reason we can bring in high-level guests. You're the reason we keep unbiased judges. You're the reason these debates stay sharp, fair, and uncompromised. This platform is built by thinkers, sustained by supporters, protected by the ones who know value when they see it. If this show has ever sharpened your mind, has ever entertained you, or has ever challenged what you thought you knew, then Cash App is how you say, keep this going. Not everyone contributes, but the ones who do, they're part of what makes this real. Coliseum of Arguments, Titans Debate League, powered by the people who get it.
What do you think?
And back to you, Naphtali. Closing remarks.
Oh God.
Are you there, Naphtali? Can you hear me?
Oh, wow.
I'm going to mute your mic until you can hear me. I don't want you to say anything until you're ready for us to hear what you want us to hear. You're muted up, Naphtali. If you can unmute your mic whenever you get back. But while you're doing that, I'll go to another word from our sponsors.
Oh, I'm right here. Did you ask me something? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. I came back. You didn't know you were unmuted, so I just muted you, so we didn't hear anything. And I'm going to go to another word from our sponsors, and then we'll do closing remarks and get on out of here.
All right.
Ladies
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Titans Debate League, presented by the Coliseum of Arguments.
Oops, sorry, the hand that's loud. Let me turn that down a hair.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Titans Debate League, presented by the Coliseum of Arguments, where ideas don't just clash, they collide. This isn't a conversation, this isn't a panel, this is intellectual combat. In one corner, the voice of the radical reinterpretation, the challenger of ancient frameworks, the man who says divinity isn't in the clouds, it's in the creator of civilization itself. Suave boss, a man bold enough to declare the black woman is God. Not a metaphor, not symbolism, foundation. And in the opposing corner, a defender of revelation, a believer in submission to the one, a man standing firmly on divine law and sacred text. Jesse Valdez, a Muslim, a monotheist, a man who says Allah is God, singular, eternal, unmatched. This is not about insults, this is about worldviews. The black woman versus Allah. Who is God? History, identity, power, spiritual authority. Are you not entertained? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coliseum of Arguments. 8 women step into the arena, not to play games, but to wage intellectual combat. This isn't trash talk, this is logic versus logic, sources versus sources, scholarship under the lights. Win a round, win $50 cash. Keep winning and walk out with $500 in the crown. Each competitor represents a brand, an ideology, a team they're ready to go to war on the hill for. Every claim challenged, every source checked, every moment judged. So we ask you, are you not entertained? Enter the Coliseum of Arguments. Only the strongest minds survive. This is Titans Debate League. In every era, there are contenders. In every generation, there are challengers. But once in a while, a force steps forward that doesn't ask for debate. She demands it. Who will debate Naphtali? One of the fiercest female Hebrews on the scene today. A strategist with scripture in one hand and logic in the other. She's been racking up victories coast to coast, panel to panel, platform to platform, leaving broken arguments and silent opponents in her wake. This isn't hype, this is a track record. She doesn't come to exchange talking points, she comes to conquer territory. Now she steps into the Coliseum of Arguments, where ideas collide, egos crack, and only the sharpest minds survive. No prisoners, no safe spaces, no intellectual shortcuts. This isn't pro wrestling, this is mental combat. Worldviews tested under pressure, claims weighed, not shouted, receipts required. So the question isn't if she's ready, the question is, who's ready for her? Who will debate Naphtali? Are you not entertained?
Hey, back to you, Naphtali. Closing remarks.
Yes, as always. Thank you so much. I had fun. Thank you for inviting me onto your channel. Guys, I'm Naphtali, representing a new school of thought. I have a new school of thought. I'm all about truth seeking, independent thinking, and independent researching. Of course, the Bible is always my foundation. I believe that Black people, or the so-called Negroes, are the chosen people of that book. I ask that you guys take a chance and come on over to my channel and subscribe and take a look at my information before you judge. You'll be very, it's very insightful, the information that I do bring out and how I bring it out. And it also motivates me to bring more out when you tell me what you would like to hear, and I'll also bring those things out too. But I had a good time, and thanks for inviting me on tonight.
Appreciate you. Hopefully you come back on soon, even if it's just to do a watch video over something you've already done. I definitely want to see that Canaanite video, the one that we were showing little clips of with the sound muted. If you could come back and do that, that would be dope. But whatever you bring, I know.
No, I would do that. But see, that's the thing about that is that it's part 5.
Mhm.
So it's a 1 through 5 series. So people will be
Mm.
like, what Canaanites call, so I try to, but I don't
Let's
mind
do it like
talking about
this.
five. I don't mind talking about five.
Bring any one of the 5 that you feel covers what you want to cover, and then that should make everybody else go start at number 1 and finish it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna bring I think ooh, 5 is the one that's fun. If, like, for instance, I don't know, maybe your audience a little bit more is because you guys, know about the Anunnaki. So if you know
Mhm.
about the Anunnaki, you know about the fallen angels, then you're more on my speed there. See, a lot of people don't even know who the Sumerians are. I
Yeah.
talk to people, they be like, Sumerians, who is that? So if you guys know what that is over here, then we can go with 5. 5
Yeah.
is where you're
All of the
at.
debaters know that whole story. So a lot of
Okay.
them are going to say it's pseudo, but they're going to be watching because of that too. So
What
I'm
good?
interested to hear the story, especially presented by you, because like I remember what 2008. It was on the History Channel a lot. Like they were doing a lot of ancient aliens in Africa, aliens and the pyramids back then. And that's when I first heard the name Anunnaki. It was on the History Channel.
Yes, actually, two of those guys, Brian Forrester and L.A. Marzulli, are both known to be on the. You probably seen them on Ancient Aliens. They're
Oh,
known
really?
to be, yeah, they're actually on there all the time back then. So Brian Forrester and L.A. Marzulli, they're the ones who actually are on Ancient Aliens.
Mm.
So yeah, they actually talk about the Anunnaki. They talk about the fallen angels. They're the ones that introduced me to it. And so putting it together with the Bible, all in it. But see, my thing is I'm linking them. He says it. L.A. Marzulli links him to the Canaanites as well, but I go in a little further. So
Appreciate you, and we'll be looking for part 5 coming soon on that. And again, folks, she's bringing scholarship, so make sure you bring out your textbook
yeah.
when you come, and come with your receipts. Sources are required. Sources are required. Say it
No,
2
no
times.
no pseudo sources. But yeah, like I said, I had a good time. I know I've been up here for a while, so I know everybody's probably tired. I didn't even realize what time it was. But yeah, so like I said, I can come back. We can do a review of the Canaanite Connection Part 5. I can have something prepared to just bring in, bring you up to speed to the Canaanites, and then we'll talk about how they link to the fallen angels and have some fun and talk about the Anunnaki and all that. And the Anakim is who I say they are. The Canaanite Anakim
Let's
is who they
go.
are.
Let's try to shoot maybe for next Tuesday, same time.
Sure. Yeah, let's see about that. Well, I'll confirm that with you. Let me take a look at that, my schedule, and then I'll confirm with you in the back.
Appreciate you.
Let me know how
Okay.
you feel about the video though. Take a look at it.
I'm about to watch it tonight.
All right, then.
And as we wrap up, Titan family, one thing should be clear. Tonight wasn't about sound bites or surface level arguments. It was about ideas, discipline, and intellectual consistency. Nefertali came through representing her ideology with confidence, scholarship, and clarity. Whether you agreed with her positions or found yourself challenged by them, this conversation did exactly what it was supposed to do. It made you think. That's what this platform is about: testing beliefs, sharpening arguments, and pushing past comfort into understanding. If you enjoyed this discussion, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it, because debates like this deserve to be seen and heard. Debates, discussions, and interviews, I should say. And until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and never be afraid to challenge ideas. We're out. Shout out Nefertali. Everybody, let's give her a round of applause. Step into the Coliseum. And I'll end with my slogan: treat your smile like your money and never let them steal it. We're going to end with the song by Connie Son. I usually listen to him on Spotify, but you can check him out on all platforms. Go ahead and shoot over to Facebook and tell him A1 sent you. You know what I'm saying? Let him know where the love's coming from. You feel me? Again, this song is called Same Heart by Connie Son. And you guys have a beautiful rest of the night.
Most high bless.
Peace.
Yeah. We was together, devil with hell.
whatever. How the hell did we just fall apart? You was my brother, know that I love you. I would've gave you my own heart, and I would've never on any level think about letting that thing small. Knowing that we got the same heart, it's crazy we ain't got the same heart. And they the one taking the aim for it, and I'm the one taking the blame for it. They ain't got no shame in the game for it. Till I come back around with that pain for it. You gon' pay for the time you was hating. You gon' pay for the time you was dirty macking. You gon' pay for the time that you hit on women. You pay for the time that you flipped on family. Karma gon' come your way, young nigga. It can be any day, young nigga. The way that you played your hand, I forgive you, but back in that sandbox, can't forget you. Killing my mentor, tell your little brother the issue. How did we go to them pistols? Know I'm official, know that I try to uplift you. Kinda knowing that I miss him. We was together, down for whatever. How the hell did we just fall apart? You was my brother, know that I love you. I would've gave you my own heart, and I would've never on any level think about letting that thing spark. Knowing that we got the same heart, it's crazy we ain't got the same heart. And I'm the one taking the blame for it, and they the one taking the aim for it. They ain't got no shame in the game for it. Till I come back around with that pain for it. You gon' pay for the time you was hating. You gon' pay for the time you was dirty macking. You gon' pay for the time that you hit on women. You pay for the time that you flipped on family. One more hate, it really ain't gon' matter. More pale lips, just me, more chatter. Can't hold hands going up no ladder. I fall from up here, then my shit gon' shatter. I'm putting on for my whole family, but we on a different road, family. You told folk that I told family, but I never did fold when the folks had me 100. I never been fake in frontin'. I told younger nigga make him something. You told younger nigga take him something. And he the one that took that from his cousin, and that there got the whole family fussing. Got big sis beefing with her brother. Even through it all, still know I love you. But every second I think I trust you. I'm dead. I'm smart in the game. You made it hard in the game. I'm loving. I started the lane. I'm hard as they came. Melody target they brain and they draw like a martyr with flame. How far I done came? You was not part of the blame. You was just part of the strain. You was so grimy that niggas ain't wanna come fuck with me, but that's just part of it. And I'm the one taking the blame for it. They the one taking the aim for it. They ain't got no shame in the game for it. Till I come back around with that pain for it. You gon' pay for the time you was hating. You gon' pay for the time you was dirty macking. You gon' pay for the time that you hit on women. You pay for the time that you flipped on family. We was together, down for whatever. How the hell did we just fall apart? You was my brother, know that I love you. I would've gave you my own heart, and I would've never on any level think about letting that thing spark. Knowing that we got the same heart, it's crazy we ain't got the same heart.